Welcome to Yeshiva Daf, share sponsor Louis Nishma Sam Yakushon Lab Sitzchok. We're holding in Sanhedrin Daf Lametes. This is a daf that was given on Shabbos. The Gemara, we're starting at 3 lines on the top of Lametes of Dalef. Only Koifer Ram Gamliel. Koifer told Ram Gamliel, a Koifer, a heresy told Ram Gamliel. Elokeichem Gonavu, your God is a thief. He put Adam to sleep, and then he took away the tzela to create the Isha. Amalei Barte, the daughter said, the discussion here who the daughter is, the daughter Ram Gamliel, the daughter of the Koifer. Shavke de Anam Adulate. Wait, I will answer. Amalei Tnuli Dukesechot. So give me a duke, meaning basically some authority that I need to complain. Amalei Amalech, well, what's the complaint? Listim bo alinu alaylo, v'natlu minu kitin shekesef, v'nuchalonu kitin shazov. Came a thief, took from us a silver vessel, and gave us a golden vessel instead. It's great, it should happen every day. Why are you complaining? He says the same thing over here. Isn't it proper that they took away a tzela from the Adam, but instead they gave him a woman, a wife, to serve him? What is it? I understand. He says there's no complaint. There wasn't a theft over here. But why did it when the Adam is sleeping? Why can't he do it when he's awake? Bring me a piece of meat. So she put it underneath him, and basically she prepared it, put it into the coal right in front of him. After he took it out, he says, please eat it. When you see the food being prepared, it's most. If you give it to Adam Marisha in front of his face, bring the chav out of him, so it'll be most. He wouldn't want to have to be with her. So that's why there was anesthesia. He put him to sleep, and that's how he created the Isha. I know your God where he is and what he's doing. So Gamliel sighed. Why are you sighing? I have a son overseas. I miss him. Tell me where he is. I don't know where he is. You don't know what's going on now here in earth, in the land. So you know Shammai. He says, Shmuel knows how to count stars. I can count stars. He took some small vegetable fruits and put it into a sifter and started mixing them. Says, look, count them. Just stop the mixing and then I can count it. So the sky also is turning the whole time and still counts the stars. Some said the following. Count the stars. He says, in other words, I can count the stars. How many teeth do you have? Come on, he starts counting, he puts his finger into his mouth, so counting. You don't know what's going on in your mouth. You know what's going on in Shemaim. In other words, the Mepharshim explained that the Koifer wanted to say that he knows the Darkei HaNoga HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the answer is Darkei HaNoga HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not something which is a clear-cut thing. The same way you need to start thinking about how many teeth you have. You need to figure out things are down in front of your eyes. There's an interesting Yahor of Abilis ben Yoyoda that says, why do you say count the teeth? Why didn't you say count your hair? I wanted to tell him, even though teeth is chashov and each one stands on its own, you still don't know how much it is. Same thing to the star. Whoever created the mountain did not create the wind. Why? What is Yitziro? One is Bria. Sounds as two different creators. By Adam also it says Bria and Yitziro. So you want to tell me it's two different people that build it? Two different sources? So he says, he tells him, there's two within a small area in the other, there's two holes. You see, the oizin says lo shenetiyah, and the ayin says lo shenitzira. Says yes, it's two different sources. When the person dies, both gods agree to stop his living. In other words, if it's not the same God, so why do they stop at the same time? Goysha is this mechashef, this sorcery. The top of your body is coming from one source, the bottom to the other source. Rashi learns the top belongs to some shade, and the below belongs to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. With the Marshal, and so the Vilna Goyen in Agatas Arabachano, they say the opposite. The below, bottom part, which is the dirt, that's a shade. The top is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's where you have the Neshama, that's where you have the Moyach. So why the bottom part allows the water that comes to the top part to go through him? In other words, how do they operate together? The Maharsha explains these two Ma'amarim, and that's also the Vilna Gaon, it says in the Rav Bachano. He says the Adam has Ruchni and Gashri, he has spirituality and he has physicality. He says it's two different gods. As the Goyim don't understand this concept that Gashri is something physical, can connect to something which is Ruchni, which is spiritual. And he tells them, no, you should know they both connect together because you elevate the physicality. Let's become one nation, similar to what it says by Shem. Says, no problem. But I'll tell you the thing. We already have a bris milah. We can't do anything about it. You do a bris milah. You're saying good. You won the king in the argument. And anybody who wins the king is thrown to the pen where you have all the wild animals. They sent him to the beber and the animals there eat him. So get this meaning, he says, that's not a big nace. The animals are not hungry. So they threw them in, and the animals ate him. In other words, to show the big miracle. You have 10, you have the Shechina. How many Shechinas do you have? So he calls the Shamish, and he basically gave him, he was upset on him. He hit him on his neck. Only my al shushu avesa the kofer. It says, why is the son going to the house of the kofer? Only shushu lekula almo. The son goes everywhere. Nicha. Ma shushu dechan min elf alfi ribu sham shedekam kuchabichu. Nicha kula almo. It goes to the whole world. Shchili kodesh baruch lachas kal v'kal. So shchili kodesh baruch, of course. So here the pshat is the chol comes out. The pshat is like this. He understood that every time you have a minyan, there's another shechina. He says the Shekhinah comes here, comes there, comes everywhere. He says, no, it's like the sun. The Shekhinah is really everywhere in the world. The Shekhinah is b'chol makom ba'olam. The only shaila is you want to access. To access, you have to have a minyan. Is your Elohim, God, making fun, making a joke? It says, turn it from the left to the right. What is he trying to do? Also, tell me the my time at the Shviyoso. It says, why do we have the mitzvah Shmita? I'm going to say something that answers both questions. You should, 6 years you work the land, 1 year there'll be Shvita. So you'll know there it is Yisrael is mine. They didn't do that, they sinned, they went to ghosts. You have a Mechbas Avatom, the one of the countries rebelled. If he's cruel, he kills the entire country. If he is as merciful, he kills half. If he's full of mercy, he just makes the Gedolim suffer. Also Kodesh Baruch Hu, he's miyase Yechezkel Hanavi for the Yisurim Yisrael. So that's why he said, what is he doing with Yechezkel Hanavi? He's giving Yisurim for Kaparas Avonos for Yisrael. The Maharsha goes on to the Cheshbon because it says there how long Yechezkel Hanavi had to be on the right side and the left side, and has to do for the Cheshbon how long Am Yisrael has to go to Golos. God's a kohen. Chtiv, tikchol chumo. Kikavel Moshe my tovel. When we buried Moshe Rabbeinu, what did he do? How did he go to the mikveh? Went to the water. It says the water is only a certain portion of a Kodesh Baruch Hu. Went to the fire. Can you go to the mikveh in the fire? The fire is better. Anything doesn't go into fire, you go into water. But the fire is better. Now, many of the Farshim point out that really what the Nakuda is, not that he went to the fire, but he never became Tomei, because he is fire. And fire doesn't get Tumah. That's really the answer. The only answer is that fire doesn't get Tumah, and that's why here you don't really have Tumah by Kodesh Baruch Hu at all. And this goes on to another discussion, that we have a discussion, Teisibol Mitzir brings it, if Tzaddikim cause Tumah or not. Someone who want to bring a rat from here, that you see that he said it becomes Tomei. He didn't argue that it becomes Tomei. He just said, how do you rectify the Tumah? So, according to this Mahalach, Pshat is, that's part of the answer. There's no Tumah over here, everything is fire. Who's like your nation? I was saying, you're part of us. All the Goyim, includes them all together. You, your Novi Bilam, testify on us. We're not part of the Goyim, not counted with the Goyim. You had a question. Is it good for everybody? Or good only for the ones that are relying on him? When you have ashka of the pardes, it's all in one shot. You give water everywhere else. Right? It's only one Torah. When you have to do oider, you have to plow, each one is different. And this connects to the Ramban regarding Ashgocha Pratis, Ashgocha Klolis, the Ashgocha Pratis for each tzaddik, the Ashgocha Klolis in the whole world, and the whole world benefits from it, and that's the sun, the moon, everything else. It's talking about here in the Novi, fascinating thing. Melachim, many of the Nekudas that Sanhedrin goes through the Novi. It says over there that Achov, right? Achov was Melech Yisrael, he was a Rasha. That's basically the last part of Melachim Aleph. And he went to war and he called the Novi Mochio, as we'll see in a moment, and he asked him, should I go to war? He said, you'll go to war, but you're going to die. And he didn't believe it. And Achov, he did not dress like a king. He got dressed like an ordinary person. And the way he died was randomly someone threw an arrow, and the arrow hit Achov. So it says right after Achov died, it says, there was happiness in the Machane. When the Rishon died, there was Rina. When Achov died, there was also Rina. The Kodesh was happy when the Rishon died. It says, that's how we do Hashem Kitoiv Kiloim Chazdo. She says, "Hoy do Hashem Kiloim Chazdo." If you share Kodesh Baruch Hu Samech, the Apostle Hashem, Kodesh Baruch Hu was not happy with the Rishon died. Toma Shmuel Marach Ben Maviyenu so my dichtiv lekorv zel zekol leilo by the Kriyas Yasuf. Pois Shol bikshu alok Hashem so Mashiach le Kodesh Baruch Hu. They wanted to say Shiro. Omno Kodesh Baruch Hu I say Adei Toim Bayam Atem Wem Shiro. I don't want to say Shiro when Rishon died. He doesn't become happy. He makes others happy. So Tavar we know about everyone was happy. Not Kodesh Baruch Hu was happy, made others happy. Take it on Mechtiv, Yossi Lochtiv Yosus. Shvamino, because it says in the Pasuk, Ken Yossis, Kasher Soshlachem Yativ, Ken Yossi Shem La'abid Etchem U'Lashmin Eschem. Yosis others, not himself. So here you have a Gavaltik Maharil with the basic Shem Marachet Mo and Shor Machshov and Nadaf. The Maharil says, what's up Shat? Kodesh Baruch Hu is not happy about also Shem Hashem. Because the tachlis of the world is that from all the bad in the world will come Kavod Hashem. From all the bad. So everything in the world will be Kavod Hashem. When you have to get rid of the Rishayim, it's not the purpose of the world. It's not a full simcha in the world. So it says over there that when Achov died, there was blood over the Zoynos. Now, the pasuk is that the clay Zayin, his weaponry, was full of blood. But it says, Zoynos, Loshon Ches Yoynos. There's two nevuos. If you come back, so Baruch did not talk to me. Wherever the blood of Nevois was eaten, because Achov killed Nevois, so the Mechol Gamata, he told him, you also going to die over there. It was pictures of Zoinus, of Znus. He was a little cold person, didn't have taiva. His wife, two images of Zoinus. She made him get a little more excited for Tashrish. That's what it says. They pull the arrow. What is Letumoy? Meaning, it wasn't intended for the king. Didn't know the king was there. To make the nevuah fulfilled. The more brings a simon and go on. That was before. There was a hunger in the world. And Ovadio works for Achav. He tells him, let's go look for water. Then Ovadio goes, he finds a little Navi. The Navi says, Kol Achov. So Achov is trying to find you all over the place. Achov was looking for Elio to kill him. If he's going to come, you're not going to be here. He's going to kill me. So I'm going to be here. And then Elio goes and does the big story with Har Carmel. So he calls Achav Asher Abayit. He has Yerushalayim, the Pasuk says. Why is the Pasuk adding that he was Yerushalayim? Says Yaakov Avinu caused bracha in the house of Lavan. The Yosef caused a bracha in the house. So what about my house? It's not no bracha. Maybe you're not Yerushalayim. Pasuk says you should know he's big Yerushalayim. The house of Achav is not prepared for bracha. You can need to have a base keeper for the bracha. It says Yeres Hashem Me'oid. Doesn't say more. The reason is, as we'll see in a moment, that Yo had a big challenge. Why did Yo get nevuah? Rashi says he was a ger and he's not miyuchos. He put 100 Nevi'im in a cave. Shema ve'ebi caresses over the Sevi Hashem. Mikach v'yo mea Nevi'im v'yachbim. He took 100 Nevi'im and he hid them. 50 in one cave, 50 in another cave. Why 50 dafka out of 100? Yaakov also split his camp, so he split it as well. Technically, the Me'or didn't have space more than 50. Why Dafka Vadio spoke to Edom? But Yo lived between two Rishonim, Achav and Izebel. He did not learn from them. Esau lived next to Yitzchak and Yaakov, did not learn from them. He was a ger from Edom. From the forest, comes the wood. The wood that holds the ox, that's the one that chops the wood. So the wood chops itself. And that's why Obadiah, that came from Edom, is Mistab ben Edom. This is Badod the Melech that he hit Moav. People say, the same expression, from the forest comes the wood that chops the wood. That David the Melech came from Yoav, and he killed, if he came from Moav, he killed Moav. Yosef Divi said another question, Yerech the thigh gets stinky from the inside, it starts on the thing itself. And this is what the Mepharshim bring that Ovadio, because he lived next to Rishayim, so his Yiras Shemaim was even greater. Yiras Shemaim, because he didn't learn from his surroundings. So then when we talk about here that the king, the Goyish king, he the Egloin, the Egloin was the other one. So the Mesha, he asked his servants, why are the Jews so successful? Told me, that Avraham Avinu took his son and gave him as a korban to Kodesh Baruch. So he did the same thing. He took his son and he killed him to Kodesh Baruch. He killed him. Once he did L'Shem Shamayim for Kodesh Baruch, he did it. When he said it for Avodah Zarah. He gets a Gadol Yisrael. It was very angry at Am Yisrael because he did L'Shem Shemayim and they were worshiping Avodah Zarah. Amad L'Shem Zarah and Maya, he gets why was angry at Am Yisrael? Because Shub Levi, there was Shub Levi Rabbi. See, when Kirtei Agoyim Hashem was the Chem Lasisem, so you didn't do like the Goyim around you. You did do for the Goyim around you. Exactly, you didn't do what you did do. You didn't do like the Mesukonim, like Egloim, that he was Mechava Kosh Baruch. But you did them Kukolim, you learned from their bad deeds, like Meisha, who was Makir the Sod of the Zor, that you did do. The tiny Am Yisrael is, you're doing something wrong, you want to learn from the Goyim. Why are you learning only the bad? Learn from the good as well. Then it says, right there, the next passage, they left, La'aretz. What's La'aretz? Am Yisrael went down to the lowest Madrega. It says, Regabe Avishag, she was very beautiful. She wasn't in the beauty of Sarah. So some of us want to say that's the connection between these two names because it says they went to Madrega Techtoina, but not the lowest Madrega. Like said Avishag that she didn't go, wasn't as beautiful as Sarah. With this we end this paragraph. Hadron Haloch Echod Dinim Amonis, Hadron Haloch Echod Dinim Amonis, Be'ezer Hashem.